Hi, I'm Jonathan Knight. Welcome to B-Movie Madness. I haven't been on here in a while. Anybody who is on my Facebook or knows me personally knows why I haven't been around. One of the reasons being is that I did an episode back on February 12th about all the stuff I got at the flea market. And for some reason, the audio went out of sync less than a minute into the video, and I've been trying to fix it since then. But I have very limited equipment to work with. I'm working on an older laptop with XP, and a lot of the programs just crash. I found one program and I thought it would work, and it didn't. So I ultimately decided to discard the video altogether. I had a lot of personal problems in my life that anyone who knows me knows what's going on. But regardless, I'm doing this video as a makeup for the other video that had the audio problems. I'm excited to I'm gonna get just rid of the VHS section because that's gonna take way too long, and I already packed them away. So what this will be is all my movie purchases for February. I'm also gonna do one for. I'm gonna try to do one every month from now on. Show unless I don't get anything, then I won't do one. But I'm gonna start with the DVDs first. I got these various places: flea markets, Walmart, online. So if there's any particular movie that you want to know where I got it, ask me. If there's any other movie you see on here you want me to review, just let me know and I will be glad to do it. Start with the DVDs. This is one I got at the flea market called Dark Stories from Beyond the Grave. Now, I know very little about this. The only thing I really know about it, and I put it in my computer to scan it, is looks like it's a whole bunch of shorts that they randomly put on the disc, like various horror shorts of various people. So I might watch this one day just to see what it's all about. It says right here it is 83 minutes, so we'll see. This one right here is the Fully Loaded Sniper Collection. This is the first 4 Sniper movies. Now, I've never seen any of these. The first one came out in the 90s, and starting in the 2000s, they started doing sequels to it. Tom Berenger and Billy Zane were in the original one. I've never seen any of these. I believe they're up to 7 now. And I believe Billy Zane, Tom Berenger are in some of them. Like I said, I've never seen them. I'm particularly interested in the second movie because it's directed by Craig R. Baxley, who did Action Jackson, Stone Cold, and I Come in Peace. I'm a huge fan of it. He's a stuntman, and his work as a stuntman is incredible. But he did quite a few cool action movies I really like. So I'm looking forward to the second movie. The first one, too. Looking forward to all, I think I got this at Walmart in the $3 bin or something. So, if you're interested in checking them out, and, the first 4 are on here. Devil in the Flesh. Now, I remember a friend giving this to me a while back. Not sure I can't remember what I thought of it. I think I remember it being like a Lifetime movie, but with more sex and more violence, I guess. I'm gonna give it another chance. Why not? Right. Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds. I really like Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool and everything, but I really liked the stuff he did before he started doing Deadpool. I thought this was a good Christmas comedy. It takes place during Christmas. Anna Faris is great in this movie. He's probably the funniest thing in this movie. Really good movie. Ghost Girlfriend's Past. Why did I get this? Feels kind of late. Why did I get this? I like Matthew McConaughey. I'm sure this isn't going to be that good. Michael Douglas is in it, though. Kind of looking forward to that part, though. Cape Fear. I only had this on VHS. I'm a huge fan. This is one of my favorite Martin Scorsese movies. It's one of my favorite remakes. I finally watched the original, I think, early last year, like the beginning of last year, and I thought, maybe it's because I've seen this one so many times, I thought it was kind of underwhelming. It's good for its time, but compared to like Psycho, which came out I think 2 years before that, it doesn't measure up to Psycho. And it's funny because it was directed by J. Lee Thompson, who's one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite canon directors. He did Happy Birthday to Me. He did my favorite Planet of the Apes sequel. But I thought the original was kind of underwhelming. This one I think is fantastic though. I still haven't opened it yet. I need to rewatch it. Home Alone 3. Another why. The funny thing about this movie is I saw this in theaters, and I knew that it didn't have anybody from the original in it. I knew it would be new characters, but I just wanted to see it because I loved the first 2 so much. I'll be honest, when I saw it in theaters and as a kid, I loved it. I really did. I thought it was funny. John Hughes returned to write it, so maybe that's why some of the parts are really funny to me. Watching it now, I haven't watched it maybe a couple of years. That's what I got this for. I still kind of like it. It's certainly better than 4 and 5. I mean, those are just, ugh. But, maybe I'll give this a chance soon. I think it takes place after Christmas, which is, you know, different. Um, a certain you-know-who kind of compelled me to get The Wicker Man at the flea market. My opinion, The Wicker Man is terrible remake. Hilarious black comedy. Man, seeing Nicolas Cage go around punching women, stealing bikes, getting covered in bees, it's funny shit. If you go into this, you know, when it came out, people's expectations were because of how good the original was, that, you know, they expected this to be, you know, probably crap in the first place. But I think going into this now, knowing that, according to Nicolas Cage, it was supposed to be a black comedy, I think it's really funny. I mean, I think it's an entertaining movie. It's just a really bad remake. I wish it wasn't The Wicker Man, because, you know, the name is certainly better than that Wicker Tree movie, like, sequel they did to Wicker Man. It's certainly better and more entertaining than that. Of course, he compelled me, good old Nicolas Cage pillow, compelled me to get the Nicolas Cage 6-film collection, which contains Joe, Drive Angry, Knowing, Lord of War, Bangkok Dangerous, and Deadfall. Now, the only one of these that I actually own is Drive Angry, which I really like. They had a whole bunch of these collections. They had Arnold Schwarzenegger one, a Jason Statham one, a Bruce Willis one. You know, this is Lionsgate. I think Lionsgate put this out. And I've seen Drive Angry, Knowing, and Lord of the War. And Lord of the War is a fantastic movie. It's really, really good. Bangkok Dangerous I haven't seen. Joe I haven't seen, and that sounds great. It's from the director of the new Halloween movie, David Gordon Green. That looks really good. Deadfall seems to be the only one of these movies that is older. It's 93. The rest of them are 2000 to 2000, 2014. You get I think this is like $10. You know, it's 2 CDs. Knowing, I think is really good. I think that's an underrated movie. I think Bangkok Dangerous, you know, I haven't seen it, but I have a feeling it's gonna be entertaining. Nicolas Cage's hair just looks legendary in it. I didn't mean to say it like that. Okay, I didn't mean to say it was gonna be crap. But you have done some bad movies. Come on, admit that you've done some bad movies. Yes, I agree. Con Air is a masterpiece. I'm gonna watch them soon. Don't argue with me. That was it for the DVDs. Sorry for the awkward exchange back here. Here are the Blu-rays. First of all is Fiend, which I reviewed at the beginning of the month. So if you want to hear my opinion about that, the link will be at the end. I recommend it just to get Blood Massacre as a bonus. Although there's probably cheaper ways of getting it. I upgraded My Cousin Vinnie, which is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I upgraded it to Blu-ray. Big fan of Joe Pesci. This movie, I just think this movie is hilarious. I can watch this movie every single day and never get bored of it. That's how much I like this movie. Screen Factory double feature of Naked Vengeance and Vendetta, 2 revenge movies. I got the movie for Naked Vengeance because I had a VHS of it. It was like an R-rated cut though, so it's like 20 minutes shorter. So I watched these last week and I enjoyed both of them. Naked Vengeance, I was hoping to like a lot more. It's a really, really strange movie because a woman's husband's killed. She goes back to her old town. She's like an actress or something. And she goes back to her old town. And like every single man in the town is just a sleazebag. And it became to the point where, in my opinion, it just became ridiculous. It's like, okay, we get it. Every man in this town is like a sleazy douchebag. But the revenge stuff is fairly good. I think like the R-rated cut, you know, it's ridiculous how much they cut out of the movie because a lot of the gorier shots are like really quick cut. There's a shotgun blast to the head. I remember that was completely cut out of the R-rated version, and this gun-cut version, it happened so quick that you just have to kind of rewind it to see it. Vendetta I'd never even heard of before, and I thought it was actually pretty entertaining. The most funniest part of the movie is that the lead villain of the movie, it's a women in prison movie, but it's a revenge movie. The leader of the woman gang is Mac's mom from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If anyone who's a fan of that show knows who I'm talking about, so it was really a trip to see her as the villain of this movie, and she was actually really good. She was actually my favorite part of the movie. It's actually a good women in prison movie, and it's unique being a revenge movie. But I do recommend it if you're really into like rape revenge movies. I don't think there's any rape in Vendetta, but Naked Vengeance does have a pretty rough rape scene. FYI. Alien Predators. My friend Michael Church has recommended this to me, and I finally got a chance. Scream was having their Valentine's Day sale, so I was like, why not? I'll check it out. And I actually really enjoyed it. It was a really fun, like, 1980s alien movie with some great special effects. I thought the three main characters were really likable. The main dude is older Eddie from the 1990 It miniseries, and he was also in a really underrated movie called Fade to Black, where incredible acting from him in that movie. It also has the lead actor from Ghost House, which makes me like it automatically. And the lead actress is the really underage girl that was trying to screw Roger Moore's Bond in For Your Eyes Only. Yeah, people know about him. But this is a lot of fun, a lot of great special effects work. This is a really underrated movie. Really happy to see that Scream Factory gave this a Blu-ray release. Because MGM kind of gave it a shitty, like, whatever release. It has another title, Falling, which is actually the on-screen title on the Blu-ray. It's a really shitty title, in my opinion. But the movie has a commentary track and a trailer, so I highly recommend it. If you like 80s horror movies, if you like old-school 80s special effects, check this out. I upgraded Scarface. This was a weird movie when I first saw it. I thought it was overrated, and I think if you go on, if the bloody disgusting message board existed in the old way anymore, you probably see some posts saying I said it was overrated. But I've really grown to like it more and more over the years. The running time no longer bothers me because it's 3 hours long. I think it's supposed to be 3 hours. It's 10 minutes to be in 3 hours. But I really like it. It's a really damn good movie. I love Brian De Palma, so I don't know why. I was like, I think it's because it was popular. I was like, I'm better than that. I like underrated B movies and shit. No, this is actually a really good movie. I can understand some people not liking it though. It's time for some Italian horror. Jungle Holocaust. This was the cannibal movie that Ruggero Deodato did before Cannibal Holocaust. Actually, I think the original name for this is Last Cannibal World. I'm not sure if that's the title on screen. There's a different title on screen. Like usually all these movies have alternate titles. I think it was called Jungle Holocaust after Cannibal came out. And they're like, that movie was really popular and stirred some pots. Let's call it Jungle Holocaust. I really like this movie. It's very different from Cannibal Holocaust. It's really rough, but it's not as rough as that. That movie's like kind of like this on steroids. But it's actually really well done. He shot it in 235, so it has like this really beautiful scope photography that I absolutely love scope. I like when movies are shot in scope. And he really uses a beautiful looking movie. Great score. Let me see who did the score. It doesn't say. Oh, I don't know who this is. It's not the same guy who did Cannibal. Great score. There's a lot of nudity in the movie, male nudity. Just warning ahead, some people don't like male nudity, but I thought some of it was funny here. There's a part where the lead character is like tied up and they have this, junk out, and the cannibals are kind of like looking at his and like touching, and they're looking at theirs, and theirs are much smaller, and they're kind of like, what the hell's going on here? Why is he so much bigger? I thought it was hilarious. But there is some animal, there is a gator or a crocodile, whatever, that gets killed on screen. Just warning, there is some animal violence in here that's real. But yeah, this is a graphic movie. It's just not as rough as Cannibal, but I absolutely love this. I almost love it as much as Cannibal Holocaust. I think it's just a beautiful movie, beautifully filmed movie. The last three, definitely not the least though, are some Fulci Blu-rays. If people don't know me, Lucio Fulci is not only my favorite Italian filmmaker, he's one of my favorite filmmakers in general. I absolutely love his movies. I can watch his movies all the time. I just love it. I love that he did so much. He was a journeyman. He kind of went from genre to genre. He went thriller, western, fantasy, horror. He jumped in all these different. I think he even did some kids movies. And the movies he started off making were comedies. It's just amazing. But his first, I think this is his first thriller, is Perversion Story from Mondo Macabre, the Blu-ray. I have some of their DVDs. I didn't know they were doing Blu-rays. Perversion Story, which came out in 1969. It's also called One on Top of the Other. This is actually a really good movie. I need to rewatch it. This is a longer cut than the Severin DVD that came out years ago. So I'm really interested in watching this. This was a really, really underrated movie. particularly the last 10 minutes are really intense. Um, I remember watching this and be like, damn, man, Fulci, really knew how to make some really intense kind of giallo work. If you call this giallo, I really don't know if I could call it that, but it's usually considered one. But the film he did after that was A Lizard in a Woman's Skin, and this is really I don't like it as much as Perversion Story, but it's a really good, very acid trippity. It makes sense when you watch the movie. How everything comes together at the end, it's very intense. The mystery is great. The acting, I think everyone's dubbed, but the acting's fairly good. It's very trippy. There is a part in the movie where I think she has like a vision, or I think it's been a while since I've seen this, but she sees like these dogs that are being dissected, like and they're ripped open, they're thing, and then I remember the special effects who got into trouble because, or not, the director Fulci got in trouble because they thought it was real. It was actually just a special effect, a really damn good one though. I really like this movie. It's funny, the movie, I think it was written as The Cage or something else, and it was called Lizard in the Woman's Skin as a response to Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. So they kind of changed the title of that, and I think Argento was pissed about it. I actually like this more than The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Overall, I like Fulci more than Argento, but I like them both, so whatever. And last, certainly not least, is The Psychic. And I got both of these from RoninFlix.com. These are Code Red Scorpion releases. It's Scorpion. Is that one Scorpion as well? Where are you? That one's Code Red, but I think they're both owned by the brothers. They're brothers. Actually, I think Code Red, the guy who owns Code Red, Bill Olsen, he has some health issues recently. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to message Todd Sheets about that because I forgot. I had my own problems. But he seemed like a nice guy. The Psychic. This was 1977. From what I understand, this movie didn't do so well, and ultimately, when he got the job at Zombie, he took it because he needed a job. Zombie was such a huge hit that he's the Fulci that we know and love to this day. And these are not the movies that made him the Fulci that was Fangoria and everyone loved. It was stuff like Zombie, but because of Zombie, people went back and discovered these movies. Quentin Tarantino in particular loves this movie. He actually used a piece of the music in Kill Bill Volume 1. And that's one thing I'll say about this movie. The music by Fabio Frizzi is amazing. The main theme of this movie, called Murder to the Tune of, shit, I can't remember. What's it called? Come on. Fuck you. Oh. Murder to the Tune of Black, I can't remember. It's not shitty. It's an amazing score. I'll put the link to the piece of music. It's just an amazing piece of music. And this is basically, a murder mystery. This woman has like a psychic vision of a woman, a murder happening, and a body in a wall, and she's trying to figure out, where is this place, who is this person, and how everything comes down. And like the ending of the movie is so intense, and I love that he doesn't kind of he doesn't show everything. Like you don't see like everything in detail. Like I don't want to spoil it, but like the ending ends on a kind of like well, did he or did she or he get out alive or something, and that's gonna frustrate the hell out of some people. But me, I found it like an interesting kind of note. It's a fantastic movie. The Psychic title is kind of generic. The original title is what the music is: Murder to the Tune of. Why don't they fucking have it on the back? I'll put it down below. But I really like this movie. When I first watched it, I was kind of underwhelmed with it. If you're used to watching Zombie and Gates of Hell and The Beyond and House by the Cemetery, like the gore-wise, these movies are not nearly as gory, but they're really interesting. And I've said for a long time, my favorite Fulci movie is Don't Torture a Duckling. I absolutely love that movie. I think that movie is better than any of the giallos that Argento did. Even though I love Deep Red and I love all those, I just really think Don't Torture the Duckling is just an amazingly put together movie. Great use of the scope photography, great music. The mystery is engaging. The outcome is it's surprising and also kind of sad. I love that movie. But Psychic. This also comes with a mini poster, which is just this right here, which I think that's the only one mystery poster. These were put out. They're Genta ones. This was macabre. Um, I believe Code Red or Scorpion just also put out Murder Rock, which is I believe it's a kind of a giallo that he put out in '84. I haven't watched it in a long time. I remember it being kind of underwhelming, but then I grew to really like it over the years. It came out after he did all the Beyond and all that. But if you've never seen these, highly recommend getting. If you're a Fulci fan, and you haven't seen these, I really recommend going backwards. Before Zombie, and checking out some of the stuff he did. His westerns are fantastic. Um, I think it's called I got it under the title The Brute and the Beast, but it's also called Massacre Time. That one's fantastic. He did one called For the Apocalypse. It's really good. He also did one called Silver Saddle, which I've never seen it and it has never been released on DVD or anything in the United States. So I don't know how it might be online somewhere. I believe he did that before Zombie, because before Zombie, he pretty much tackled everything. He also did a fantasy movie called Conquest, which I absolutely love. But rambling on too long. Um, I have plans for March of what to review. There's a 2-volume movie that I'm doing. It's not Return to Nukem High, although I really do want to do that one sometime. I'm going to plan on doing that soon. I'm going to do other ones. Like I said, if you've seen anything in here you wanted me to do, some ideas. I'm still going to do Motel Hell. I still want to do Maximum Overdrive, because I got the Maximum Overdrive picture ready. I just need to do the damn review. So I might do that one soon just to get it over with, because that one's easy to talk about. But yeah, I got plans for March. If you like the channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Any feedback whatsoever, comment, man. I'm open to any feedback, positive, negative, as long as it's constructive, I'm okay with it. But I'm Jonathan Iceman, B Movie Bananas. Thanks for watching. And I'll try to stop looking at the screen all the time. Thanks for watching.